Yeah. Was good. Good morning, yeah. All praise. I've been sitting still searching for God. It's gone great. Easy street is peace. The hands of relief like all state. How can I lose? It's proven, of course, I'm on pace. We all want energy, cross states. Was good. A couple of days ago, I wanted to do an episode about authority, and I got sidetracked because of a weird moment from yesterday. Um, So we talked about that yesterday. We talked about that weird moment yesterday. By the way, I had a great day yesterday. Went to a spa with Sheba and a friend. Drove out to Virginia. It was fantastic. Got to relax. Um, and I want to talk more about some stuff. So we're going to talk more about some stuff. Um, we're going to talk more about that incident, racist incident that happened on Facebook with this old guy I played football with. Um, yeah, but I also wanted to get on camera this. So I'm going to talk about this. Today, this morning, I was walking downstairs. I was walking, carrying some coffee for Sheba. I thought Sheba was upstairs. And I went up. She wasn't there. So I was coming downstairs looking for her to get some coffee. And I was just thinking, I was kind of happy that I was just feeling good. Like I said, I had the spot thing. I was feeling good. I'm feeling good about my wife. I think she's amazing and perfect for me. And one thing people don't know about her, she's very expressive with her love. Like Sheba is very expressive and willing to show love to me, and I love that about her. So I'm walking down the stairs and kind of imagining. I don't know. My mind went away. I was imagining when I'll see her and I'll give her the cup and the smile that I know she's gonna have, and oh, thank you, baby. And I forgot that I was on the stairs, and I kind of stumbled a bit, caught myself, spilled just a few drops of coffee. I didn't really stumble. I just kind of, anyway, spilled just some coffee, right? And it just struck me in that moment, like what was happening. As I say, we talk about what the human body is capable of and what we're actually doing, and trying to give language to the really miraculous phenomena that is consciousness in his life. So in that moment, I had a realization of like how powerfully my body and my body was walking towards where I think Sheba is. I'm trying. My goal is to give her coffee, but my mind was somewhere elsewhere. My mind was thinking about the future of when I got her the coffee, or I was reminiscing about some previous time, some other morning when Sheba gives me the warm greeting she typically gives me, and I wasn't there. And so I was also navigating the stairs in my body, like walking downstairs, which is not an easy task if you know anything about the body and kinesiology and fucking physics. Like it's actually something that we take for granted because you're an adult, but it's so all of this shit's happening. My body, blah, 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 my mind has a task I'm doing. I was daydreaming something else. And then I had this snap moment, whatever, and I figured it all out and just spilled just a little bit of coffee. And what an interesting thing that happened. What an interesting thing that was, that moment that would otherwise go unnoticed. Just, I'm rushing actually to something, let's say, or I'm just not trained to notice or care about these phenomena and their cumulative effects and what happens together when the mind and the body is doing these things, or what that is. We don't have language for it, and we dismiss it. And by doing that, we dismiss the majesty of the experience itself. And this is a major part of life, frankly. If you can stop and notice that, like, you drive this way, you have different thoughts if you're driving, you know what I'm saying, that are separate from the actual mechanical functions of the road and shit like that. And you do this all the time, and like to know your thoughts. And it also occurred to me, bro, that I'm having thoughts, and you know what I'm saying, I'm being diverted in a way that is loving. I'm being diverted towards stories of like pleasure and excitement and happiness and ease and wealth. And that's a different thought. That's a different energy than some of the stuff as a kid, As a kid, thoughts of death, they have thoughts of poverty, thoughts of avoiding stuff. You gotta be careful, gotta watch this, gotta watch that. I used to have weird, you know what I'm saying? Like daydreams of the same sort, but in another less pleasant way. And what a beautiful moment to notice the whole thing that I just described, including that progression of like what my natural like thoughts take me to now without effort, how my dreams operate in this present moment, hopefulness versus despair, love versus fear, a whole bunch of other words we could use to categorize it and create the contrast. But it's like, I'm blessed in this moment, and I'm grateful in this moment, and I can do that through the keen observations that I fucking make. All right, I wanted to hit with that first, before I dive into this stupid fuck shit. So we did that. I said yesterday, in the morning, I got a message from this dude that I played football with in college. This white guy, a MAGA guy, a very excited MAGA guy who I'm connected to on social media and I played football with. So I guess I would call him a friend and a teammate. And out of nowhere, he decides to reply to a story that I posted on my Facebook and on my Instagram. The story was a video of a woman talking about the Nolan Wells case, the young boy who, you know what I'm saying, a lot of suspicion around his murder or his death, his murder. The Nolan Wells case, and talking about how like citizen journalism is key. It was a very empowering video about citizens journalism and how we can support each other and all this stuff. Great video. And he replies to the story. Out of nowhere in my Facebook message, I get, not chimping out and destroying your own home works too. ... Never shit where you eat. Shit emoji, doo-doo emoji. Okay. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I get that in the morning. I wake up and that's like the first thing I see. I'm like, okay. So I let it sit for a little bit. And then I was like, yo, do you even know what you're talking about? And then I read it again and I realized the not chimping out thing, like that's language that he borrowed from Jake Lang and these like popular racists. I realized that I realized this is true. I know that he posts Fox News videos and all this other shit. He posts like these right-wing clowns who have stories, who are getting their names up and getting clicks. He posts that as though it's news and though it's information. And so he borrowed this term, not chimping out, which is a term that Jake Lang, a provocateur racist, uses after he provokes black people. He says, not chipping out, destroying your home, shit emoji. Who the fuck are you? So I go, you're not on my level, man. You are a confused racist, and I wish you had the tools to improve yourself. Because that's true. That's really what it is at the end of the day. Like, I'm doing this video, and I'm not going to talk much about this person much more after this, unless I have to. But when I look at it, there's nothing to be angry about, really. To me, it's information, and we're going to talk about it here as part of the broader conversations we've been having on this show about God and about identity, because it's easy to just call it racist. It was a racist exchange, and I'll continue to tell you more about what he said here as he replies to me. But it's a racist exchange. But it's deeper than that. Some people might say it's evil. Racism is evil, but it's deeper than that. Like, I'm looking at a person who knows nothing. I'm looking at a person who doesn't understand reality. You know, this is a person who watches Fox News and right-wing people like Benny Johnson and Ben Shapiro, watches them with intention to learn. He sees them as like a source of information. Are you kidding me? It's like watching someone, lick the sewer, like lick the fucking gutter here, looking for water. This is a good source of water. Slopping up shit and dog fucking shit and all kinds of terrible things. And it's like, and they're just slopping it up. Confident. This is a good source. He doesn't know anything. It's like looking at honestly, without trying to insult either. It's kind of like, let me tell you what he says next, yo. So I said, yo, I wish you had the tools to improve yourself. He goes, you're the reason I'm not on your level. Middle finger emoji, American flag emoji. Middle finger emoji, American flag emoji. He does that twice. We don't jive. Enjoy Mom Donnie. What is this? I wish for your safety. Never want to be any levels, especially alongside you. And then he ends with, a sad sack for a black. How dare you call me racist? I mean, if you're if you don't have the discernment to pick even a halfway decent source of information to understand the world, then you're not on my level and I can't talk to you. Every word, like I had to leave that alone. I didn't reply to him. I just unfriended him, and then I posted something online on Facebook about it. And I'm doing this. There's no point in replying to you. Like every word there is something he borrowed from some other clownish person that he thinks is an authority figure, that he thinks is a good source of information, that he thinks has a reasonable lens and perspective that he's repeating. He's just a parrot. And that's what's so dangerous. This has always been the condition. There's always been the condition. There are some people who are leading the pack by being liars and self-interested. We have tons of them right now. We have so little discernment, especially under this administration. We've got so much bad information, self-interested people in the journalism space. And this is why it's important to actually look at that space and to be serious about what journalism is, because it's not words that go out into the ether and disappear. It's words that seep into the heads of people, and they walk around believing stuff and having a chip on their shoulder, defining the world in certain ways. They're unable to sit, appreciate their existence, appreciate the existences of others. They're unable to appreciate the wild variety of perspective and expressions, because every day there's a culture being built. There's a racist, right-wing, white culture being built through Fox News and through all of that downstream media stuff. And they with intention. There's coordinated language, and there's the pushing of the envelope. There's the normalization of things. Of course, they want to normalize white people should be able to say nigger. Why not? Free speech. Well, why? Like, why? Because it's a thing. Because when there's nothing to talk about, or when they're not allowed to talk about certain things, then they need to fill in their time with something. They need to create some static rather than, some observation about the world. Why not like stir up something? There's more clicks. There's more potential for views. There's more monetization through fear. And we don't have a society. We don't have the discernment that deals with that as it is and engages with that. This is being built every day. The terms of the in-group and the out-group and the left and the right are just words. Like, we're looking at, by the way, this guy who sent me this, who said that I'm a sad sack for a black, right before telling me how dare I call him racist. If I'm 43, then he's 45, 46. So this is a grown adult man. This is a person who walks through life with a sense of his own autonomy and votes and makes decisions in the world. And he's not alone. He's far from alone. I was just saying this too when, like, what was it? A couple weeks ago, they had those guys marching through Washington, D.C. Was it, I don't know, white nationalists? Yeah, marching through Washington, D.C. with the masks on. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy Jesse was in there. Why not? Why not? He believes in all the values. If he doesn't, he'd probably be open about that. Well, why does he believe in those values? What's happening? Why can't we have a real discourse that could break this down? Why is Jesse being failed so much? Why doesn't he have any leadership that's not racist and not compromised and not corrupt? Why can't they create a politics that is inclusive and engages with what is in a full and peaceful way? Why can't they do that? Because they're dumb. They don't know how to navigate this thing, actually. They're not connected to themselves, as we've talked about. And they're not connected to God as an extension of that. They may talk about God. They might have language about God. But every day, they especially they'll whip out that language on Sunday or whenever it's necessary. They will say the necessary phrases and talk about Jesus and say, whatever the words are, whatever the key words that would demonstrate whatever. If there's some clothing to wear too, they'll have that too, whether it's a chain or a hat or whatever they need, some sort of visual marker to tell you that they have a connection to God. But every day they agree on phrases and language. They agree on narrative. They agree on a set of assumptions that that disconnect, that create walls and separation, that insist on violent interpretations of what is, and he has no tools. When he looks out in the world for information, like I said, when he looks out in the world to understand what's going on and understand the complex phenomena of the world, he says, he hits me with the enjoy Mamdani out of random, so he hates Mamdani for what? I have no clue. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. There's some narrative he has about that. But when he looks out into the world, he sees the separations that were given to him. He knows the teams. Fox News does not hesitate to make those teams stark and clear every time you tune in. And until he does that work to know himself better and to shed the stories, he'll be taking orders from people. He'll be missing genius. He'll be missing brilliance. He'll be missing truth. He'll be inspired by slop, garbage. Why? Because one of the first things he does when he's looking for information is he's looking for who's the white man with a microphone. Who's the white man with a suit or a tie and a microphone? And who has cool phrases like chimping out. That's his source. That's how he knows. His antenna, he's so dull. His awareness is so limited. So he'll watch a video, like some of the videos on this channel, which could bring him to understand himself much deeper, and he'll reject it. He'll turn away from it. He's not interested. He can't understand the words. It's boring, or it's just not. No, there's no way. Billy is just, or the videos of my wife, or the videos of these amazing people that I follow, the ecosystem that I have, the language that is familiar to me and the people that we follow in our perspective of the world, and its inclusive broadness and its brilliance and the majestic nature of this moment. He would reject that. But where's the white guy? And of course, there's white guys in the space as well. But it's embarrassing. So that's why this is all about learning. This is all about okay, to me, he should represent for everyone like a point of contrast of again, back to the very principles we've been saying. It's all one thing, our reality, and but that the stories we have in our heads are just stories, and that there's something bigger than that. And if he were able to understand that and grasp that, he wouldn't have sent me those messages. He wouldn't have sent that first message, and certainly not the second. Ridiculous. So anyway, I'm grateful that I get to live my life and perceive as I do and to live as I do, and I'm in communion with people who see me and I see them, and I'm in communion with you. And I see the God in you. Check out the rest of the videos on this channel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, authority. We're going to talk about authority tomorrow. Yeah. Because once we understand this, once we crack this nut, you realize that you are the authority. You know what I'm saying? And then you would stop repeating words the way my old buddy did and does. We're going to talk about authority. Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow. Peace.